Welcome to Tone Talks. Welcome to Tone Talks. Welcome to Tone.
How's everybody doing today? This is Attorney Antonio Moore coming to you with a discussion that continues what I was talking about a few weeks ago. This business apocalypse amongst Black America, amongst the idea of Black business that never arrived in my view, the decadent veil that I talk about extensively, that I wrote on in the Huffington Post, and how Diddy represents that. But not just Diddy, we're going to talk about Oprah and Diddy, and we're going to get into some of these celebrity news that be coming out. And we're going to really frame everything. But the heart of the show is something that just came out yesterday. So we found out yesterday that Diageo, the owners of Ciroc, and many other liquors as well, the people that had Diddy running around for the last 10 to 15 years on yachts showing us Black excellence, they have decided they're not playing with you. They're not finna do this accusation of racism and the things of the sort. One, they're gonna end the partnership. Are they just ending De Leon, Tone, or just, is Diddy gonna still be able to be Ciroc? Because I like the Ciroc. No, they ended everything. We out. They called him his lawsuit a sham, and they exposed some truths about, or let me say allegations that they made, allow us to pull out some possible truths. I want to get into it. I got people all across the country coming in here. I know people are at work. Thank you so much for your support. Please support the channel. Please share this. We got a lot of people feelings wound up in Diddy. Spirits Company Diageo ends Diddy partnership after racial discrimination case. So they not playing with him. They didn't back down and say, we're going to give you a little bit more to be quiet. The model that the Black billionaires been using, give us a channel, Comcast, and we be quiet. So it's coming out in the documents that Diageo is saying in the court documents, their response, that when we partnered on De Leon, now we went through the extensive realities of this man representing himself as a billionaire while he's selling liquor. He ain't selling potatoes. He ain't selling beef. He's not selling. So you got a society. You can protect the society with weapons. You can feed the society with corn or potatoes. You can expand the society with bridges. He's not doing any of those things, as aren't any other of these Black billionaires. But what he is doing is selling liquor. But he don't own the liquor. Diageo own the liquor, and he run and sell it to us. Well, they feel like they got us. You done laid out enough little traps. They done learned how to lay the traps out from you. So you showed them how to hustle the community, and now they like, we don't need you no more. So let me get this right. Court documents, AHH News pulled, show Diageo saying all Diddy invested in De Leon tequila was $1,000. So you got Diddy, and he's been cut by Diageo, and he was the vision of Black billionaire status. Now he's not selling no potatoes, no oranges, no beef. He's not selling no bullets, no guns, no tanks. He's not selling bridges. He's not selling high rises. What he's selling is Ciroc, but he's the billionaire. He's the representation of Black ascension. And you start to see what I've been telling you so long, that white wealth expanded exponentially. They went from $2 trillion in 1980 or so. They went to about 24 in 89. They're at 130 now. They got to get you to digest it and to accept it. The way they do that is tell you that you have billionaires too. You never ask, what makes a billionaire? What is he selling? I want to get into it. But what we do know is that there's an allegation by Diageo that when it came time to invest in De Leon tequila, so he didn't own Ciroc, so he gonna start De Leon, and De Leon is gonna be co-owned. And when it came time to invest in that, he put up $1,000 purportedly. They put up $100 million. let's get to the discussion. Let's talk about it. 310-388-3499 to call in. Please subscribe, share the video. Let's have this discussion. It's time for us to talk about it because everybody's been telling me, Tone, Diddy got that bread. When I look at this thing, I look back to the 90s and I see a bunch of dancing, a bunch of skipping, a bunch of clapping, a bunch of singing, a bunch of performatory we arrived music videos. But now as we come into 2023, nearly 25 to 30 years ago, we see Diageo severs ties with Diddy and Ciroc, claims mogul only invested $1K in De Leon. This is All Hip Hop reported this. Spirits giant Diageo has ended its 15-year partnership with music mogul Sean Diddy Combs following a racial discrimination lawsuit, according to court documents obtained by All Hip Hop. Can we talk today? They said they didn't say 100,000. They didn't say 1 million. They said $1,000. Huh. I'm serious. Somebody said, "Are you serious?" I'm not. Am I doing something wrong? By telling you the truth of what everything is, am I doing something wrong? I can't tell you what a hero look like, but I can tell you what it don't look like. Pop-up show today. We doing the show now. And what I told you a few weeks ago, and I've told you over the last several years, is white America made Black America the face of American wealth. So what do I mean? When you watch shows like about Maybachs, when you watch shows about Black Escalades that are $100,000, they bring up Drake and they bring up Kanye buying it for Kim Kardashian or Diddy. They put them at the forefront of wealth, but didn't give ADOS people no wealth. I'll show you in numbers. White America made Black America the face of American wealth across the globe, and then whites kept all the actual money. You can thank Drake, Diddy, Beyonce, Oprah, Kanye, Sean Carter, King James, Tiger Woods, Rihanna, Tyler Perry, Stephen Curry, and many more. You really can ask the whole decadent veil to take a bow for damaging racial politics in immeasurable ways. 310-388-3499. I told you it was over last show. I called it Black Business Apocalypse. Diageo is done with Diddy and Ciroc. So he was the representation of Black arrival to wealth, right? He was the representation of Black arrival to wealth, correct? So we didn't do no politics because he got revoked when we was telling Comcast that we wanted inclusion and actual diverse access to our own station, and we didn't do no politics because he got revoked. So is he gonna call for a march? We need to boycott so that we can get our liquor. I tell you again, in France, the place where they make this, they don't allow you to advertise this the same way. You cannot advertise this at the sports games. I can tell you again that they used the advertising that made him very similar to the Joe Camel that's banned. They sat him in the shades and everything else. He extended himself through what I feel is exploitation of the vices of Black America. Now, you don't have to believe me or All Hip Hop about what Diageo is saying. It's just an allegation, but it is in the document. So let me get this right. Court documents, All Hip Hop News pulled, show Diageo saying all Diddy invested in De Leon tequila was $1,000, while he was supposed to match their $100 million. From its inception, the Combs parties failed to fulfill their duty. This is Diageo's document to fund the joint venture. They're talking about De Leon because Ciroc was not a joint venture as an equal. 50% owner with Diageo. De Leon being the tequila. De Leon being the tequila that Diddy is saying that was replaced with Casamigos because it's white owned. But we're going to get into that in a second. Investing a mere $1,000 while Diageo has invested over $100 million in funds. The Combs party's failure to fund the joint venture created a contentious relationship, severely damaged the De Leon brand at a critical juncture. I bet it did. Hey, I'm gonna go and cut my check for $85 million, and I'll come back with another $15 million. And how much you got? I got $1,000. Wait, we've been paying you for Ciroc and you done danced around all this time, more money, more problems, and you showing the act bad with the little girl with the money in the duffel bag like a dope boy, and you got $1,000 on your actual business. Now, I'm not one for selling liquor, but how is this a representation of Black excellence or Black business? I need you to see it. Because I'm going to say it, because ain't nobody else on the net going to say it the way I'm going to say it. I'm going to tell you today that Casamigos compared to De Leon is like the comparison of Black wealth to white wealth in context of so many elements. See, don't just use words, don't just use color, let's use the actual businesses. The $1 billion sale of George Clooney's tequila company just made him 2018's highest paid actor. Here's the story of how the brand was set up by accident. So now you have a company in Diageo that bought Casamigos. And now they're going to push their stuff that they own 100%. So they don't have to split with you, Diddy. Of course. Without even realizing, Gerber said he and Clooney were bringing in about 1,000 bottles and were told by the distiller they needed to get a license. So they really just made this for themselves. And they realized they stumbled on a business. It's like selling CDs out the back of the trunk. Well, Diddy didn't do nothing. But he telling y'all like it's all the same. When George and I decided to make our own tequila, you know how much is that? Hundreds of thousands, of millions to make your own. It was strictly for us to drink and serve in our own homes, he says. This is the partner, Randy Gerber. You see him here. This is Randy Gerber. This is Casamigos. But we immediately saw we had something great. The buzz about the tequila quickly spread among the Hollywood community. So they plugged into a community of Hollywood. We shared samples with friends who loved it. This is whiteness moving around. And then they told people about it, and they loved it too. After receiving a call from their distillery in Jalisco about the copious amounts of tequila they were producing, more than 1,000 bottles for themselves, friends, and family, which turns out to be excessive under the law, the pressure was on to get a license or halt production completely. So they got their own production. But Diddy is telling y'all that this is just black and white. He put $1,000 into his De Leon, purportedly. I want to talk about it because ain't nobody else is going to talk about it. I need everybody to understand. I'm not here to judge liquors. I'm here to talk about you. Y'all said that this is your business hero. And I want to talk about it because I can't talk about him dropping out of Howard because that don't matter because we're going to be tradesmen. I can't talk about the bad business he did with all his rappers and singers because that was a long time ago. But can I talk about the $1,000 in a business, in $100 million business where they ain't playing, they trying to get going. So they just went out and bought this instead. They said, I'm just buy this instead. I'm not going to do business with somebody who has shown throughout their life that they aren't able to do business. Your heroes ain't no heroes, is what they said. The ultra premium small batch tequila, they talking about Casamigos again, is aged and barreled. Gerber said while a master distiller chooses the right moment to take it from the barrel to the bottle. He added we use brick ovens and the blue Weber agaves are grown for 7 to 9 years. It's a long process. Again, Diddy and $1,000, and now Diageo has cut him off. I'm saying this to you because nobody gonna say it this way. And because I've been saying this to you. And I've been hearing all kind of whispers. Now, I don't hear no loud, thunderous talk because don't nobody want to talk to me straight. But I've been hearing the whispers. And inside of those whispers, people laughing now. Not at me, but at Diddy. And you got to laugh at these old, geriatric, aged black celebrities that still want to stick around because maybe that's how they'll leave. You got to laugh them off the stage like it's Apollo. Tone, you've been trying to tell us, but I know people thought you didn't know what you was talking about. I've been riding with you since day one. You taught me a lot, especially the numbers game. Money and Wealth, JoJo B. We laughing together. This me right here. I'm Charlie Murphy though. This you, JoJo. This you. I see you over there. This princess or this North over here in the corner. So this us laughing at this stupidity that y'all thought was business. Bet Ashley Larry in this one. So look, we got North. She put up her post. Shout out to North. ADOS is going to have to admit that Black excellence, and when she talks about Black excellence, she's talking about the representation of this supposedly dropout boule. This, I'm going to call it degenerate boule that came out of failure and went to jail and came out a 20, 30-year rapper. ADOS is going to have to admit that Black excellence doesn't and never existed. Shout out to Jay-Z, the dropout dope dealer. A 30 or 40-year scam where Diddy, MSNBC's American Greed segment, this is her feelings about it. Shout out to Jay-Z who sold everything. Anytime you see somebody sell everything they got, you got to wonder if there's financial problems. I'm just telling you, it's not our business. Well, tell them to not put it in the news. Another decadent veil tool is discarded by corporation. The list continues to expand. End of the show, we're going to get into some few figures, Oprah and Kanye and how they be tossed away. How many of y'all see what this means that Diddy got cut from Diageo? I want to talk about it because ain't nobody else seeming to understand what this means about the lack of the failure of, the collapse of your idea of Black business. The relationship between Diageo and Diddy kicked off in 2007 with a marketing services agreement concerning the brand management of Ciroc and vodka. I went over this in a few weeks ago where I showed you they were basically targeting Black folks to get us to drink more. The collaboration proved fruitful for both parties, with the mogul reaping nearly $1 billion for her services as brand ambassador. So he made $1 billion selling liquor, and then he turned around, and when he gonna actually own it, he said, according to Diageo, put up 1,000. He spent it all, and that's all he had in his pocket? I don't know. The collaboration proved fruitful for both parties, with the mogul reaping nearly $1 billion for his services as brand ambassador. So I'm sorry, I know this is redundant because it's big. So we got Act Bad with him running around with the girl, and he got the money in the bag. Looked like hundreds of thousands of dollars in this bag, $40,000, $50,000, $70,000, but he can't put but $1,000 into his business. He don't know nothing about no business. How you expect what? I mean, look at him on Breakfast Club. He wasn't even coherent in my mind. I want to talk about it. Hold on one second. I know a lot of people can't call in because it is midday, but we got some callers. Caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Tom, this is Troy calling from Dallas.
What up, Troy? So let me read the rest of this article. I'll come right to you. I ain't gonna give my opinion, let you say yours. Again, the article we're reading, so you can read on your own later on, is this one right here. Diageo severs ties with Diddy and Ciroc, claims mogul only invested $1,000 in De Leon tequila. We're sharing the article. We got Troy here, and we're going to talk about this. We got callers all around the country, 310-388-3499. The relationship between Diageo and Diddy kicked off in 2007 with a market service agreement concerning the brand management of Ciroc vodka. The collaboration proved fruitful for both parties, with the mogul reaping nearly $1 billion for his services as a brand ambassador and marketer over the years. However, the harmony between the two entities began to wane in 2013 when they formed a joint venture to purchase the De Leon brand. According to Diageo, the joint venture encountered financial issues from its inception, with Diddy investing a mere $1,000 into the venture, while Diageo invested a staggering sum of over $100 million. But his lawsuit alleges that Diageo deliberately hindered the growth of De Leon sales for almost a decade due to the company's racial bias, marketing the brand only to urban consumers. He further claimed that the Diageo executive has stated that his brands would have been more widespread if he were Martha Stewart. Yeah. In an attempt to salvage the brand and their partnership, both parties agreed to a fresh start for De Leon, with Diageo foregoing the collection of Diddy's debts worth millions of dollars and providing additional funding for marketing and promotion purposes. Despite the uneasy partnership, the De Leon brand experienced growth, with its sales doubling. Well, it's over now. They didn't cut him off. What's your take on it, Colin?
Well, this is pretty embarrassing. In hindsight, now that all of this is out here, this is pretty embarrassing for Diddy and the image of black business they're trying to sell. This kind of pops the bubble in that whole illusion. What you just read in that last article, they said it, the brand ambassador, that is not entrepreneurship, business ownership, equity. You're just a marketer. You're marketing your image at that point. And $1,000 is an investment. I mean, people put. There are a lot of licenses. A lot of people have invested more to get a real estate license, or invested more in an Uber business or something like that. $1,000.
Let's go a step further. Let's go a step further to that point. Not just $1,000, because like sometimes relativity is a problem for people. I'm not saying for you, but just for people. This is $1,000 for a person who purportedly made $1 billion from the marketing deal. So it means he can't count. So you made $1 billion selling liquor as a marketing deal, and then the thing that could make you a much larger sum, you put $1,000 into from all that billion. Go ahead.
That's not good business, because if you got $1 billion off of $1,000 investment, why didn't you reinvest money to get more equity? And are you
No. You're missing it. Let me make sure it's clear. So Ciroc was a marketing partnership. Okay, you do so well at the marketing partnership, y'all agree on a second different liquor, De Leon, the tequila, to be actual owner partners. But when it's time for you to actually do the things that owners do, what kind of things do owners do? Well, the kind of things that we saw in the Casamigos article. You basically showed that you deficient. And then you also didn't put up nothing but $1,000. So what is this? Go ahead. I'm sorry for cutting you off.
Well, I just want to say that, he spent more money going to the store, buying other people's brands, to create his image. So it's like all he is a brand ambassador. He went to the designer store and dropped hundreds of thousands of dollars buying designer products, just to associate yourself with the equity and the elitism of these products. And I'm like, that really just seemed like that's all he's doing in one shape, form, or another. Whether it's with this liquor deal or whether it's going to the store with this girl to create this image of I'm kind of a sugar daddy, elitism type of thing. It's all the same. It's a bunch of deception. And I just think this case, in this particular thing, showing that he only invested $1,000, highlights how much of a illusion he is as a businessman. It's all show. It's all just perception.
Thank you so much.
No business.
Thank you so much. And again, that is an allegation from Diageo. The queue is filling out 310-388-3499, 310-388-3499. But part of what you're going to deal with, let me tell you what you're going to deal with. How many people recognize this guy? In the chat, how many people recognize this guy from Abbott Elementary? Well, this is her boyfriend. Her boyfriend, Ciroc, he wanted to be a rapper. And Ciroc basically had this thing where he was doing fade and rapping to the kids. A lot of these people built a whole person out of Diddy sauce. So now when you tell them that Diddy is collapsed, they're not going to deal with it right. So they a bus driver in the day. That's their actual life. A doting father and a bus driver. But in their mind, they like Batman. And they a rapper at night. When you tell them that rap is like somersaulting, they gonna fall apart on y'all. because they ain't got nothing left if they ain't got no escape hatch. This is real to them, and it's been real for 30 years. This is what capital did to Adolf's people. It took nonsense, it elevated it, and it made Adolf's people not understand what real business looked like, what real business people look like. Y'all gonna have to deal with this. Some of y'all got them in your house or in your neighborhood or at work. They gonna be down. Hold their shoulder up and let them know. I'll listen to your bad rap. I'll listen to you try to make music. Support them, because they ain't gonna be right once they find out Diddy and he hating on who I is. Come on, man. He hating on me. Goddamn Tyreek. So back in October of 22, that ain't that long ago, Diddy officially makes his debut on the billionaire list. They done knocked him right off in 4 months. Golly. What you mean, Tony? He still got the money. The list of billionaires in hip hop just got a little more lit. They've been selling this to black people. Don't none of these people. I'm going to come to you in a second, 404. Today, Rolling Stone announced Revolt chairman Sean Diddy Combs has made, so Revolt, his own announced it, has made his debut on the list of elite cultural icons. And everybody was saying, Tone, what you talking about? And I tell you, this is nonsense. The placement was calculated by former Forbes entertainment editor, Zach O'Malley Greenberg, former. Diddy, who's been in the top 5 wealthiest hip-hop artists for years, is accompanied by Jay-Z, Dre. Come on. All right. Nonetheless, let's skip forward. Oh, this is the actual article. Let me read the article from Zach O'Malley Greenberg. Diddy becomes the third billionaire minted by hip-hop surgeon Passier on the strength of several assets that have weathered the pandemic remarkably well. Diddy becomes the third billionaire minted by hip-hop surgeon Passier on the strength of several assets that have weathered the pandemic remarkably well. The value of his incredibly resilient Ciroc partnership with Diageo, which functions like an equity stake while creating cash flow for Diddy in the neighborhood of $60 million annually. So that's over. So that's the money. He back with us. Come on. They cut him. Zach need to do a new calculation, but which functions like an equity so while creating cash flow for Diddy in the neighborhood of 60 million annually continues to account for the bulk of his fortune. So his fortune just gone. So Jay-Z solidified spot atop hip hop wealth list as Diddy joins billionaire club and Kanye West slips. He slipped. But we know that white people have almost all the wealth. We've shown this chart. I'm not going to go through it. They got like $130 trillion, nearly 130. Black people have like 5 or 6, and almost all of it is in the hands of boomers. In their pensions, in their homes, all these numbers, other numbers are nearly nothing. Working age blacks have nearly nothing. White folks have over 120, 130 trillion dollars. What we're seeing is the black business apocalypse. We're seeing black folks not able to grasp from Kanye to Oprah what the truth is. We're going to go through Kanye and Oprah in a second, but I'm going to come to this caller and let them speak and give their opinion on what this means. Caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Tom, this is Jay Tucker.
Give me your take on it.
Yeah, this is, I think I made a quick comment. I'm driving though, but I made a quick comment that this is indicative of your analysis. I've been following you for a while, and you really opened my eyes to a lot of stuff. But this is the fact that if this is allegedly true that he invested only $1,000, is indicative of condition of people as a whole, really. You know, he's running around here, like you said, dancing and tap dancing, jigging and all this other foolishness. I mean, he really doesn't understand business. And as a business owner myself, I mean, it's serious business. When you're dealing with, you're just a front man and
really don't have any business knowledge, and you just, like I said, you and the vet, and mainly, just your commentary and podcast, man, you really opened my eyes to a lot of things that I'm trying to do, wake up and get things in order in my own household, man.
Man, thank you so much for calling in and dropping that knowledge. Look, man, I need you guys to support this channel, support the Adolph's Foundation. My Patreon is Tone Talks. You can also support me at tonetalks.net. We out here, we pushing, and we just trying to make this thing happen for y'all. Do these shows. I ran out of court to do this show for y'all. I wasn't even planning on doing no another show after I did the Jocelyn little nonsense with where she said she was white on the booking. Somebody said she was white on the booking report, and then she said she black and all that. I wasn't even gonna do no another show, but I got to tie it together because it's not just Diddy. We got Adidas terminates relationship with Kanye West after pressure. These are the billionaires after pressure to cut ties over anti-Semitic comments. So I told y'all days before that they will drop this man, and I got back from black men primarily, but black folks, that's impossible. They need him. It ain't gonna happen. Then the day later, people didn't believe me yesterday. This is my tweet back on October 25th, 22, about my show before that. People didn't believe me yesterday when I said Adidas, and I said this specifically, will take those lumpy Shrek shoes and put them in Ross and drop Kanye West, who is their toy soldier hero. Kanye West, Adidas Yeezy brand, and the end of the decadent veil. That's the show. Adidas terminates relationship with Kanye West after pressure to cut ties after anti-Semitic comments. I need you to see what I'm saying. Please become a Patreon supporter, or you can do it on PayPal. I don't care. Support this channel because we talking. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? I'm gonna have to drop you if I can't hear you. It's like echo. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? All right, well, they hung up. So we got Oprah, and you remember Discovery gave her $70 million on the channel. In America today, with all the billionaires we have and all the wealth we have, that's not the right valuation. And then they came back, and it's harder to find it now, and said that just because we gave her $70 million for the 25% don't mean that 25% is worth $70 million. Which is it? Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, what's up, Tom? This is Jason from Miami.
So let me finish this last little point. You can come in where you want to. Discovery paid $70 million to become majority stake owner in Oprah's own. So they gave that to her in 2017, right here. And then the Trump tax cuts don't come until January. So she gonna take that in, I guess, in that December before the tax cuts, which tells you she ain't planning to receive that money, in my view. Because who would take it before the Trump tax cuts? I ain't a supporter of those tax cuts, but if you getting $70 million, you ain't gonna take it till after that. But she took it in 2017 because they was using something like, we need you to get out of here. Then come around and they had to sell the rest of it. And they got 95% of own. Had us support this thing under the concept that it was black owned. This is your billionaire. So, Discovery, and we got Adidas, and most of all, we got Diageo. Go ahead, give me your take on it.
Yeah, I wanted to come in real quick and tell you about the reason, my view on Diddy with that $1,000. It's not that he doesn't have more than $1,000 to invest. When you're an entrepreneur, or I
don't want to go down this path of speculating. I didn't tell you. I don't want to go down the path of you explaining to us why he didn't put in $100 million to match his other partner. I don't want to. We can't tell that. The allegation is $1,000 to put in. We put in 100. That's what we know. So we talk. I don't want to speculate. If you want to give your opinion on general, that's cool. But I'm not finna do that either.
Yeah. So my speculation is all these black entrepreneurs are just partners, not because they don't want more. It's because they don't want to put the risk involved. Just take all the benefits out of the risk. They don't have faith in the product itself. If you look at and I'm just telling the evidence. If you look at whatever he owned, Bad Boys, it was a partnership. The Ciroc was a partnership. All these partnerships, not because they don't believe that they can make more, they just don't want to take the risk or the downfall.
Well, can we go a step further, Colin?
Entrepreneurs.
Can we go a step further that they're just not business?
Go ahead.
They're just not business people. So when you know the history of Ciroc or whatever that Jay-Z was doing, these were things that were already there. So they just walked in and said, I can sell that to blacks. They didn't build it out like I just read to you with Casamigos. They didn't build it out. So when you're looking at them, you're giving them the credit of being full business people that were making hooch out of a tub. When in actuality, what they are is brand marketers that dropped out of high school or dropped out of college. And I need you to understand, it means something when you can't complete nothing. I'm just talking to you straight. So yeah, it's not about investing. Yeah, they don't know about business, but also they just not business. And their real business to me is being the decadent veil. White capital can't sit here and have $130 million in the hands of white folks. I just showed it on the chart. And black people have nearly none, and they don't calm down if they don't think they have a chance. Everybody got to be Tariq off of the Abbott Kinney. They got to feel they have a chance. Because if you black people really realize that how this is locked up and how your kids is driving Uber because they're a servant class that ain't even really good servant class, like they're not like butlers at the White House, you might ride. So they're gonna instead give you Diddy so you can calm down. Go ahead, give me your last take on it.
Well, you know what, you're 100% right. And I mean, even if you look at Own with the partnership, if you look at Revolt with the partnership, good partnership. My question to you though is, and it's just more rhetorical, but I want to answer on it. Unless they move this decadent veil out the way so that people can actually start rioting, what other solution is there if the decadent veil just don't die off fast enough?
All right. I like that question. Let me ask. I'm gonna answer it offline. I thank you so much for calling. So, solution is relative. The use of the word. How does it resolve itself? See, solution, it gives a positive connotation. How does it resolve itself? Is water got to go somewhere. It's in the sink, so it go down the hole and it's released out into the pipe. What I think ultimately happens is that we become like a disposable servant class, and your children are already showing that by the fact that they drive Uber. And some of you are actually showing. So the decadent veil might have already done its job and created a false idea of your access to the point where you're so calm that you're broken. And I don't mean you even know that you're broken. So when we go back to India and the British occupying India, they had the troops there and they had the troops there, but eventually they just pulled the troops out and the Indians acted like the troops were still there. So they didn't need them there. So they might already got you under the decadence. You watching TV in the middle of the ghetto, folded, sitting Indian style because you ain't got no chairs, talking about who you gonna be. How you gonna do it a little different than Diddy. You gonna put the 2,000 up. You gonna put in 10%. You're not gonna do it like him. You're not gonna be like Oprah. You're gonna be better than Oprah because you know about the internet. But we see, coming to his point, coming to my point, we can't let go of these geriatric celebrities. Older, let me say. These older celebrities, these temptations, they got stories like these people are pop culture of the moment, like it's 2001 right now, 96. Add your stories that show how media is making Black America manic about middling Black celebrities from 25 years ago. So they're going to drive you crazy with aging Black celebrities and stories around those aging Black celebrities. They're going to keep telling you stories that don't matter to the point where you think they matter because they told it to you again. So what is that? How does that work? So we going to give you a reality show with Jocelyn Hernandez and Amber Rose on it. And then later on, we're going to do another reality show, a celebrity hit version of College Hill. And we're going to use them because they celebrities from being on the reality show. 50 Cent teases Irv Gotti over Ashanti and Nelly relationship rumors. And this was in news, on TMZ, on Black media. I did this to show you the time, because I think that y'all don't be realizing the time. Ashanti's debut album came out April 2nd, 2002. That is 21 years ago. In 1990, we wasn't listening to nothing from 1970 this way. like it was pop culture relevant. Yeah, you know, you might listen to it like a good song, but it's like old people's music. Stop telling your kids to wear Aaliyah shirts to school. I told y'all that already. This is the similar. This ain't no different, bro. I'm sorry. This ain't no different. These two things. Can I get to it? Portland, stop laughing. Can I get to it today? I ain't finished. It ain't gonna just be no Ashanti. This ain't no attack on black women. 50 Cent is stomping all over Irv Gotti's broken heart in light of the fact that Ashanti and Nelly appear to be an item again. These middle-aged people. I'm sorry, Solomon, you is old. We all old. It ain't your time no more. I'm sorry. They done paid Black Generation X in pop culture because they didn't give y'all no wealth. Let me say that again. They paid your parents, the boomers, in wealth. Homes and stocks and pensions. They paid you in pop culture, and that's all you got. So you're going to make this stretch out to the end. This here, right here, Nelly and Ashanti on stage at Vegas, that's this. Them two the same. You got me looking at it, and for me, I'm looking at it. I'm looking at y'all. Y'all having a good ass time, and the the verses is on, and I see this. This is what I see right here. That's how you make that step. This is what many of these older Black celebrities look like to me, talking about their heyday nearly 30 years ago in 96. Many of these stories Black media pushes are just crazed content filler. That's the sound you make when you do that. Step. What the Temptations did in 69 isn't news in 2023, and this isn't either. Genuine clears the air. Stop laughing. All y'all in there giggling and sniggling. You're going to have these people come and try to find me. Let me play it again. You know that's a step back. What the Temptations did in 69 isn't news in 2023, and this isn't either. These Black celebrities from 25 years ago ramble, and Black media covers it up to survive on fumes. Genuine clears up his fallout with Aaliyah. She forgave him. Let me make that posthumously. After death, she forgave him. Aaliyah. Solomon said you in your prime. Do your hips hurt? When you wake up, you ain't in your prime. If your hip hurt when you get out of bed, you ain't in your prime. If you crackle when you run to the bathroom in the middle of the night, you ain't in your prime. Let me tell you some stuff that make you not in your prime, because everybody need to know with these Black celebrities. If you make that sound when you step back on your dance and it's a slide, you ain't in your prime. If you are this man, you ain't in your prime. There ain't no difference between this and this. Them the two same things. Genuine's album, released October 8th, 1996. That is 27 years ago. You letting a man sing to you some 30-year-old songs that are popish at best, and not putting it in this right light, which is this. Come on, slide with it. Ain't no difference. Get it? Get it? I'm gonna go through them again. Tell me in the chat, is there a difference between these three? One, I'm gonna play it with the neck move. It ain't a lot of hips, and ain't a lot of because your hips hurt. This and this. Ain't no difference. Ain't no difference. Come on. Them the same. I just need us to understand that, and that's why I put up the years, because I want to do the calculation for you so you understand how long ago it was and how weird this is, and how they got you in the time loop, and how that's how Diddy is still here, and that's how Genuine is still here, and that's how 50 Cent's still here. So you asked me the solution earlier. The guy asked me what is the solution. Solution, you got to realize it's 2023. It is not 96. It's not 2006. It's not 2016. It's about to be 2026 though. Genuine clears the air about his fallout with Aaliyah. Said she forgave him posthumously. He also addressed the potential TGT reunion, June 26, 2023. The vibe. You know, that's like a term from like an old slang term. Change your magazine name. Don't work no more. That ain't cool no more. Genuine is the latest guest to appear on Drink Champs, and the So Anxious crooner isn't holding back whatsoever. The 52-year-old discusses the origin of his stage name, his discography. Come on, man. When it comes to the latter, Genuine, meaning Aaliyah, opened up about their falling out prior to her death and how redemption seemingly arrived in an unexpected way. He began by clarifying himself that there wasn't a beef between himself. What are we talking about? 27 years ago. I'm telling you the years because I don't think we understand that. I got to do that to context the whole everything in 2023. They have used the media to keep Black America in a 30-year-old celebrity time bubble. And it has driven millions into a manic, geriatric pop cultural craze. So, Fat Joe claims he convinced the Notorious Big to work with Bone Thugs. So, Bone Thugs is 29 years ago. 94. It comes to a point where we got to let go of this thing. Black celebrity, Diddy, all of this, it's time for it to go. The question is, what do you have to replace it? I hope your family, ADOS groups, anchoring yourself in churches, loving yourself. I hope that you can realize that none of this is going to last. And when it's all over, dancing ain't going to get you nowhere. This is Tone Talk. Please go to tonetalk.net, subscribe, donate, and share.